people say, I'm stressed all the time, but what does that really mean? So the definition of stress is this. It's any condition that makes demands on the physical or the psychological defense system and threatens its survival. So it's basically when demands exceed resources. So what kinds of things create physical stress? Well, it may be things like being too hot or too cold, not getting enough sleep, or when your body has to fight a virus or a bacteria. When you're on the fertility journey, physical stressors may be things like going through an IVF cycle, so having to deal with injections and then go through an egg retrieval and then an embryo transfer, or if you go through a miscarriage. How about psychological stressors? Well, those might be things like you're trying to meet a deadline and you're in a time crunch, or you're mourning the loss of a loved one, or you feeling mad that something didn't go the way you wanted to that day. On the fertility journey, you may be feeling scared that you're never going to get pregnant, or feeling ashamed or angry that your body's failing you in some way. Stress also doesn't always come just from bad things, right? So you might get a new job and have all of these new demands on your plate and feel stressed, or you might be moving to a new home that you love, but you still have to deal with packing and moving. We've had plenty of clients who felt stressed, actually even sometimes more stressed after they got pregnant, because now their mind shifted to worrying about staying pregnant. So even though stress doesn't always feel good, I'm going to invite you to see stress as a growth opportunity. So when we have to go outside of our zones, it actually helps us to learn new things and evolve rather than to stagnate. And so it's really just about dosing. So a certain amount of stress actually helps to move you, to activate you, to learn and grow. But too much, of course, can overwhelm you and shut you down. As Donald Tubising said, stress is like spice. In the right proportion, it enhances the flavor of a dish. Too little produces a bland, dull meal, and too much may choke you. So we're going to focus next on teaching you about your fight or flight response, which is often what happens when you're in a state of distress. You're going to learn to identify the normal symptoms of the fight or flight and then ways to turn it off. We'll also spend a little time talking about some of the research on stress and fertility and how mind-body programs have been shown to improve your chances of getting pregnant. The great thing about the tools that we're going to teach you is that you can pretty much use them anytime, anywhere, in the comfort of your own home, when you're lying on the exam table in your fertility doctor's office, or when you're sitting in that coffee shop with the moms and their new babies. All right, we look forward to seeing you in the next video.